So warming up before you run is simply an activity that gets your blood pumping, that gets your heart pumping, and has you ready to run fast when you're standing on the start line. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through a simple warm-up that you can use from the 5K all the way through to the marathon. So just like you wouldn't get out of bed in the morning and go run as fast as you could because your body's just not ready for it, you're not going to get to the start line of any race and be ready to run if you haven't got your body warmed up and acclimatized to the speed and the pace and the distance that you're going to have to run. So a warm-up is simply, it's a way to loosen up your muscles, it's a way to warm up your blood, and it's a way to get you ready psychologically for the work that you're about to put in. So there's a lot of different opinions on how it is that you can warm up. I'm going to walk you through one that I used for 10 years and used really successfully for a number of different races. It's very simple, but sometimes we overlook simplicity for complexity and it just makes things too confusing. There's no need for a warm-up for your race to be confusing. It should be a simple, structured process that you know how to use it, when to start using it before each and every one of your races. I usually like to start my warm-ups about 45 minutes to an hour before the gun goes. Obviously, if you're in a big marathon and you have to be at the start line 15 minutes before that gun goes, just to try and get yourself a space, these times that you're going to warm up is going to be adjusted. That's something for you to figure out as you go along, and for every individual it's going to vary. So the first thing that I would encourage you to do is just start with 45 minutes to an hour before your race, going for a 10 to 15 minute super slow jog. It's going to take you a couple of minutes to really feel as though your muscles are loose and are moving nicely. So I'd encourage you to run at a pace that you'd be embarrassed to be caught running it by one of your friends. Start off super slow for the first 5 minutes, and by the end of that 15-minute warm-up, your goal is simply to have your legs feeling as though they're a little bit looser, a little bit more free. All right, so you've just done your 15-minute jog. What next? Now that your muscles are a little bit more warmed up, you want to start targeting some of the key muscles that you're going to use when you go out for your actual race. So there's a lot of speculation, there's a lot of opinion on what works best in terms of stretching. Like, should it be more dynamic or should it just be quite stationary? For me, I prefer a little bit old school. I just like to hold some of the stretches for about 15 to 25 seconds just to feel a little bit of a stretch coming through. I usually target my calves, my groin, my hammies, my quads, a little bit through my hips and my arms. Alright, so now it's time for the final part of your warm-up, which is just some build-up strides. So your target for these strides is about 80 to 100 meters, starting off at a bit more than a jog, and then every 20 meters gradually picking up that pace that you want to race. Alright, so just like me, you should be breathing pretty heavily. Your legs should be nice and warm. Your body should be feeling ready to go. Sometimes during a warm-up, we don't feel as good as what we would like to. The goal of a warm-up is not to feel exceptional. The goal of a warm-up is to get your body to a state where when you're on the start line, your muscles are ready to go. There's been plenty of warm-ups in my time where I felt horrible and gone out and run an awesome race. So don't put too much pressure on yourself to feel a certain way when you're warming up, because just like everything else, sometimes your body's not going to feel as great as what you wish it did. But hey, that's a good start place for you. As I said, about 30 to 45 minutes before you race. If you have to do a couple of those strides on the start line in the 5 minutes or so that you're waiting for the gun to go, that's fine as well. All right, best of luck, and let us know in the comments below how you found it. Hey, if you want to get tips from the best runners in the world on how to improve your distance running, that's exactly what our Relax Running membership is. If you go to relaxrunning.com/join, that's going to give you exclusive access to all the secrets of those best runners. So there's a link here for you to follow through if you want to check that out.